Congress is investigating pro-Hamas demonstrations that turned violent right here in Washington, D.C. John Jessup has that story and more from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John?
Thanks, Gordon. A committee in the United States House is pursuing information to hold those involved accountable. CBN Capitol Hill correspondent Michelle London has the details.
Oversight Chairman Representative Bruce Westerman says many unanswered questions remain from those protests. He specifically asked Charles Cuvelier of the National Park Service how an unorganized protest here in the nation's capital went totally out of control.
D.C. is no stranger to protests and free speech demonstrations, but in this case, something went horribly wrong.
And that resulted in massive violence and destruction.
The rioters chanted terrorist slogans, hurled what appeared to be human feces at U.S. Park police officers, destroyed government property.
Rep. Westerman added that he witnessed the riots' aftermath, then joined other members of Congress to replace American flags previously burned to the ground.
That night, I joined my fellow Republican members to return Old Glory to its rightful place.
The violence in front of Union Station happened the same day Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke to a joint session of Congress. According to the subcommittee's report, the organizer called Answer obtained a permit from the Park Service for a peaceful protest.
That's why we are here today, to investigate how pro-Hamas protests turned National Park Service land into a violent national disgrace.
During the hearing came this heated exchange between Indiana Rep. Rudy Yocum and Charles Cuvelier.
Mr. Cuvelier, why did the U.S. Park Police only have 29 officers to monitor what was expected to be a 5,000-person protest? But where things were actually going wrong, on site at Union Station, how many officers were on site at Union Station where our American flag was torn down and burnt to the ground?
So I'm trying my best to answer your question. There were 174 for the total.
This is a very simple question here. I understand there were 174 people in total for the event. How many people were on site where the American flag was torn down and burnt, and then the Palestinian flag was subsequently raised? Very simple.
Sure. I will get back with you to the best of my ability with.
But how do you not know that answer?
Since the riots, Cuvelier says 4 arrests have been made and insists more will follow. He also defended the Park Service's security strategy, saying they did what they thought was best to keep it peaceful and safe. Cuvelier couldn't answer whether the 4 protesters arrested were Americans or possibly illegal migrants. Meanwhile, the committee says July's violence has raised concerns on future riots Answer could be planning, specifically around the upcoming presidential inauguration. Michelle London, CBN News, Washington.